That's new Wildberries. One more storage, which is quite big, was hit in Samara region, Russian Federation. My friends, every day Ukraine is into it, and it is already 13th warehouse of Wildberries that was kissed by Ukrainian drones. And the scale is absolutely enormous. It is like Russian oil storage. The effect is basically the same. One more huge volcano. It's no-go, absolutely. It completely burned down already by the time I'm recording this video. In this case, firefighting team, they're just useless. What is interesting that Russians put a huge flag there near Wildberries with the letters Z and V, or V in German. They put the flag right on the hill, and this is Wildberries. And that's the flag on satellite images, so it's not just the Russian flag, but it's also their Nazi symbols, Z and V. And why are those Nazi symbols? Because it's the analogy with the Russian army, who are basically Nazis. At least they do the same stuff in Ukraine with the same symbols, so it's not a surprise, and this is the flag, and this is Wildberries, very close, that Wildberries will also burn, yeah? So Russians even marked, strike here. And here we go, a huge kaboom, -1 more Wildberries. Well, in addition to Wildberries, Ukraine hit also a couple of the refineries in the same region of Saratov and one in Ufa. And also Engels airfield sustained some of the damages. For now, I'm still waiting for more information about that Russian military base, but the fact that there were some of the kabooms. And here's our bingo board. As I told you already, 13 of the warehouses were hit, and many of them completely flatlined. Well, Ukraine is just starting this campaign. I'm sure that tomorrow I'm gonna record one more video about some of the things happening to one more Wildberries or ozone warehouses in Russia. This is the image from the wider perspective, and just for you to understand, this is the height of the wall of the storage. So it's not the small construction on fire, yeah, it looks like on this wide-angle lens, but it's the huge fire. He says, I feel the heat from the fire, and he's staying kind of far away. Yeah, it's completely gone, like totally. Okay, so this Wildberries is called Novosemeykino. It is in Saratov region. And this video was filmed 5 days ago, so more goods were delivered to the storage. And now they're all ablaze. Well, some of the Russian channels say that it was empty, but what is burning there in this case? It is understandable that Wildberries is using the remains of the warehouses to the maximum capacity. Yeah, this is a refinery in Ufa. Shaking hands, Russians, what is happening? It's just a special military operation. Yeah, one more video from Ufa refinery, and I'm gonna speak about Wildberries, gonna speak about those oil storages, refineries, because everything is mixed, you know, the information is coming right away by the time I'm recording this video. I'm not sure whether it's interesting. I think it's interesting, yeah, to obtain this information and right away. And of course, later on I'll publish it with more and more evidence, more and more videos. And guys, thank you so much for watching my videos, and please don't forget to press like to this video just right now, do it. It really helps this channel a lot, and also subscribe to the channel. We are on the way to reach 1 million subscribers. Thank you guys, and if you have this opportunity, you may also support me on Patreon or on membership just by pressing button join. You're amazing guys, you're making this content possible. Let's continue. Yeah, that's the modern day Russia. Those views are everywhere, in the bigger cities, in the smaller cities. It shows literally the Russians that the special military operation is not going the proper way. They have fuel crisis, they have crisis with goods, and it's not okay. This is not what Ukraine had started. This was Putin's decision to attack Ukraine back in 2022, and he continued to do it. He continued to launch missiles and drones to hit Ukraine as hard as possible, and Ukraine has an absolute right to strike back. But Wildberries continue to work. By the way, thank you Supernova Plus and Alexinova Plus for delivering us those images or videos from the Russian groups. Thank you. Yeah, some of the saved item, you see, was taken out and still sold. Or this is something that burned a little bit. This is a Ukrainian FP1 drone. Yeah, was filmed by Wildberries personnel, you see. So they evacuated from the place, were evacuated. This time air raids were announced and even one of the drones was intercepted by the Russian air defense, but the rest of the drones did the job. Yeah, it's definitely huge. What kind of the pictures do you like, guys, the most? Greta Thunberg doesn't like this stuff. By the way, she didn't say anything about those Ukrainian strikes on tankers or on Russian refineries or on Russian storages. She's fine with that. Yeah, he says that Saratov is being bombed. A guy with his friends Gopniks. No, we have bigger problem. Way bigger than Wildberries. Did they make a burnout here on this Lada Samara vehicle? Well, actually it's the rear wheel and this particular model has only forward wheel drive, so I wonder what happened here. But they stuck. Fantastic cameraman job filming everything. The question is like, what is happening here, right? But it was more or less entertaining. Oh, they stuck here. They're like apes. Some gangsta style here, stuck on Lada. And this is the Saratov refinery, in addition to Ufa refinery that was hit actually later on. So the fuel crisis is out there still in Russia, and Russia is now negotiating with some of the bordering countries to somehow purchase the refined fuel from the same Russian oil. This is circus, but this is the reality of the Russia as the gas station country, ex-gas station country.
Александру сегодня 55.
So this is the restaurant that was Kabooms. Well, actually, a device was not taken into the restaurant. There was the lady, she was stopped by the security guard in front of the door. She said that she was carrying some of the present for the birthday, and immediately at the same time the present opened, yeah, kaboomed. This present was the last one for the woman who was carrying it and also for the security guard, and later on we have some of the split information. Some sources say that several of the guests were flatlined and many wounded delivered to the hospitals. Well, the general figure is like 3 or 5. I heard those kind of the stories. For now, Russia tries to restrict the information about the case in Moscow. But what we know for sure that it was definitely the birthday of the Russian Air Force or Airspace Forces General, Alexander. He turned 55 and he was celebrating it. Yeah, I've told you about this guy yesterday, Alexander Yurievich Chaiko, and he was allegedly the main target. But together with him also there were high-ranked guests, like for example members of the Russian Duma, so the Russian parliament, plus also his colleagues from army officers and FSB officials. So some of them are being cancelled. Well, I'm absolutely sure that it's just the matter of time when this Russian general receives his final present. And the scene you see, Alexander 55 celebration with the red star, it's like in those Hollywood movies. It might look like the stereotypical Soviet cliché, but it is in real life, you know. And the lady who was filming this video was commenting that, oh, definitely it's the birthday of Alexander. And for now we don't have the information about the condition of general. Well, official Russian propaganda says that everything is alright and we have just some random calming comments. Well, some of the media tried to reach the relatives of the general and they refused to comment the case, absolutely, like zero information. Well, allegedly he is after all alive. Ukraine tried to revenge, not just for Ukraine, but also for Syria, for example, because this general is a bloody butcher and he was fighting in Syria till 2019. Oh, sorry, from 2019 till 2021. And after all, he commanded those soldiers who went to Bucha, so he is a legitimate target for Ukraine, but sometimes those operations, they fail. And the woman who brought the present, she is not Ukrainian, no. No, she is a usual Russian lady who was reached, I guess, by Ukrainian military intelligence, and they instructed her that she needs to get the present there. And Russian GRU does absolutely the same stuff. Just the last week there was an operation of the Russian intelligence. They brainwashed some of the one guy or two guys, and they tried to flightline one of the high-rank Ukrainian officers. It didn't go well for them, they were detained. The same way Russians tried to cancel the biggest volunteer of Ukraine, Sternenko. It also didn't work, by miracle, I would say. So the methods are pretty much known. They include the brainwash of particular people in those countries. In Russia or in Ukraine, both of the sides, they're using the same tactics. But I would say that Ukraine is more advanced in those operations, judging on the scale of the Russian general losses in Moscow. And of course, after all of those strikes, after the kabooms of refineries, after strikes on Russian military airfields, after kabooms happening in Moscow, and after the half of the warehouses of Wildberries being kaputted, Putin made an important statement here today. It was like crossing the red line definitely for Ukraine.
Сердечно поздравляю с праздником работников и ветеранов железнодорожного транспорта России.
Yeah, he just recorded the congratulation video for the worker of the Russian railways. They have the professional celebration day or something. Just don't look up, Russians. Everything is fine. Celebrate the railway day or whatever. I don't know. Crazy. Well, at the same time, Russia also hit some of the Ukrainian storages. But again, Ukraine doesn't have the same capacities or capabilities. You may call it different names. So the storages, they're smaller, way smaller compared to what Ukraine does for Russians. So many more Russians are affected. Ukrainians, they live under the war conditions for already many years. And Russia, even before Ukrainian strikes, did absolutely the same thing. Well, maybe now on the larger scale, but Ukraine has European countries very close, and Ukrainians may order some of the goods from those countries. Because of the shorter supply shoulder for Ukraine, it's not a big problem. Well, you have to wait probably several days for some of the good to arrive. Because, for example, for this business, I guess it was epicenter. They cannot store the goods any longer, but they may purchase some of the spaces in Poland, in Romania, and later on deliver goods to Ukraine. And for now, at least, Russia doesn't have the tools to hit something on the way for the far distance. Ukraine may do it with the mid-range strikes only. Russians also might do it, for example, in Odessa and in Chernihiv Oblast, which is bordering Russia, within the close proximity. So supply lines for Ukraine, for now, they're more or less safe. But what is interesting that probably Russia is getting ready for the false flag operation with Ukrainian drones. For example, Ukrainian forces shut down Ukrainian drones, which were used by Russians. So maybe before Russia intercepted several of the Ukrainian FP-1 drones, they landed those safely, they did some maintenance, and they launched those drones back to Ukraine. And potentially they might launch those to European Union countries, NATO countries. And that is what is called a false flag operation. So don't be surprised if you hear something about Ukrainian drones in a Polish, especially Polish airspace. And we have the article from Militarny. Russia has probably started using captured Ukrainian drones for provocations. Poland warned about this. And the same pictures filmed by Ukrainian drone interceptors. Also, Russians continue to publish their strikes on a Ukrainian port infrastructure. I wonder where is this? In Odessa or Mykolaiv port? Well, Russians say that it's the port where Ukraine does some of the maintenance, but I see huge storages of the grains, so probably it's the export port for Ukrainian grains. And as usual, we have the compilation videos coming from Magyar. He posted those videos usually as every day. Some of the strikes in occupied Kherson region, also Russian territory, occupied Donetsk Oblast. This is occupied Zaporizhia Oblast, so drones are flying every day. But what I noticed that Russia probably removed the rest of the ships from the Azov Sea, because Ukrainian aerial strikes on the Russian ships, they are particularly vanished this week. About the ships, by the way, yesterday I told you about the container ship that was hit by a Ukrainian drone boat. Well, I showed you this video. It's not the particular ship, of course. I should have noticed the name, which is out there visible. I even put it on my thumbnail. So it's Borda, the tanker. The actual container ship, you may see, it looks very different. And we don't have the video with container ship, how it was hit, but it was confirmed also by the Russian side that it is no-go. So it was downed completely. Well, there are some of the videos circulating online, like with this one, but I'm not sure, you know, it looks so AI-ish, especially this Kaboom. Yeah, I think with those names here, the letters, yeah, it's an AI. 100%, you see. As for colors and the shadows, it looks almost like real, yeah? And look at the water, those waves, but still AI sucks with the letters, and it is understandable here. And here's why it is important to stop Russian sanctioned vessels. So Russia transported armored vehicles to Mali on sanctioned ship, BBC says. The sanctioned cargo ship Mikhail Britnev docked in Lom on July the 9th. It was transporting trucks, armored personnel carriers and infantry fighting vehicles. So it went through the Baltic Sea, across La Manche, so there were multiple of the attempts to arrest this vessel somehow, but no, it went to Mali and will reinforce the Russian army group in that African country. The ideal variant, but it looks like fairy tale with our partners, that they would confiscate this vessel and send everything what is inside to Ukraine. But of course they will never do it, because legislation, courts, and international legal blah blah blah, yeah, it's better to allow Russians to kill everyone around, including Africans, including Ukrainians. For those officials, politicians, they don't care that much, honestly, from what I see. They continue to trade with Russia. And you know, guys, I saw this video with a new type of the drone, probably. Is it an AI? It seems like the Kaboom is real. What is this? This looks like a Stingray, but it flies really, really fast. The empennage looks standard, but at the same time, it is a flying wing. Well, maybe it's just an AI, but this is very unusual. And the rest of the video, it looks legit with that Kaboom. Well, maybe it's the combination, real video and some of the artificial intelligence. Because it was damn silent and the speed was enormous. Maybe it's the new type of the drone, who knows. Yeah, the refinery being aboard is absolutely crazy. Most of the Russian big refineries were already visited multiple of the times and they continue to burn. Awesome. Well, Russia tries to restore everything, but still Russia is very limited. They cannot fix everything. All of the ports, all of the refineries, all of the wildberries, like military bases. Too much to do. Well guys, that's all what I want to say as for this video. Stand by for more updates, and please, if you can, you may support my job on Patreon. The link for it is in the video description right below, or join membership of the channel on YouTube by pressing button join. Guys, thank you so much for making this content possible, and also don't forget to press like, subscribe to the channel. I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are, and have a great time.